What is going on, everybody? How are we doing? Welcome back. We haven't done one of these in a while. It has been a hot minute. We haven't done a sports stream. Oh gosh, in about a month. It's maybe a month since, at least since when we had our. Sorry, let me get the music queued up here. Sorry about that. At least since Four Nations. Like, I know we were talking a lot about the Four Nations, and I think yes, we had our little baseball stream, but like I was sick. It didn't matter. It was like a little just throwaway kind of stream. But I thought what we should do today is we should cover right now, because it's the hottest thing that everybody's talking about. The NFL is on fire right now. This kind of feels like the summer, in the middle of the summer when the NBA free agency is going on, and everybody's talking about that. So we're going to talk about. We're just going to talk about football. At the very end, we'll talk a little bit about hockey because there is a player that did move. That kind of took me by surprise a little bit. But I do want to pull up some ESPN, and we'll talk a lot about everybody who's been moving around lately. So let me get this queued up here. Sorry, let me go here. Let me get this thing queued up here. We'll have the chat open too. So if you guys have anything to say, we'll look at it. And I'll try to answer the question to the best of my abilities that I can. But yeah, it looks like it's a big day. Like, for example, we just saw the Steelers letting go of Justin Fields to the Jets. That happened like 10 seconds ago or something. But let me get, I'm a little behind. Hold on, okay, we have this. We'll have this over here. And then we'll have this over here. Okay, nothing crazy. Okay. All right, okay. Sweet. All right. We're all good. Okay, we're all good. Here we go. Okay, so the first thing, I think the first thing that I want to talk about is, because it happened, I want to say 2 weeks ago, but I haven't covered it. And I thought, hey, with all this free agency moving around going on, let's talk about it. Let's first talk about Deebo Samuel getting released and then traded to Washington for basically nothing. I think what's going on, I don't think Washington necessarily gets that much better with Deebo Samuel. To be honest, like his last season with the 49ers, last year for San Francisco was just rough. We forget how important the running back position is. Clearly, the Eagles know how important it is with Saquon Barkley. Look how far they went. They won a Super Bowl last year with Christian McCaffrey, who was in MVP talks for the 2023 to 2024 season. He was in talks with Lamar for MVP, but 49ers had him for what, 3 games? And then there was just one bad step. He took one bad step against the Bills, re-aggravated that injury, and then we never saw him again. Ayuk was dealing with injuries. I think Kittle was an Iron Man and played every single game, but I know Deebo was dealing with injuries. Like, it felt like the 49ers were just, they were injury riddled all season. But then when Deebo did play, he kind of looked a little washed. A lot of people were making fun of his size and weight and stuff. And I think one of my favorite memes is that one of the Eric Andre show where he's looking at his hands like this. And it's like Deebo, after Jaden Daniels hits him wide open and he drops the pass. I don't think Samuel's washed. I think whatever's going on in San Francisco, I think needs to be studied, because I think Ayuk's going to be on his way out here any second too. But I think the 49ers, I don't think the 49ers get better without Deebo, but I don't think Washington gets better with him. Like, I think it's just one of those, we can't gauge it off of how well he performed last season. We can't gauge how well Deebo's going to do on Washington by basing it off the 2024 season, because it wasn't the best Deebo Samuel we've seen. So I think the 49ers maybe get a little worse, because it's one weapon you're taking away from Brock Purdy. But I think at the same time, if as much as we joke about how washed Deebo Samuel is, he's not going to make Washington that much better and stuff. And I think with a retooling of the Eagles, and the Cowboys are going to want to take a shot at it, I just think in the East alone, it's still the Eagles division. So I'm not saying that Washington's going to take a step back, but like historically, if you've looked at the history books and how things have gone so far. Yes, yes, you can have a great rookie season. C.J. Stroud had one. Jaden Daniels had one this year. There are sophomore slumps, and I think Washington might have a little bit of a sophomore slump this year with how successful they were last year before they got boat raced in the NFC Championship game. So I think it's a good addition piece. But like if we're seeing 2022 Deebo Samuel where he just single-handedly beat the Packers in the divisional round, and the Washington gets that version of Deebo Samuel, Washington will be back in the NFC Championship game again. But again, we still have the whole rest of the offseason, more trades, more draft picks. Like we'll see what happens. Plus, season's got to play out. Washington could hit the injury bug middle of October or November or something. But right now, as I sit with it, I think Debo's going to go chase the bag, and I really think if the 49ers were to have just reloaded, run it back with the same players, they would have, at minimum, gone to the NFC Championship game because you still have all those weapons for Brock Purdy. The defense is still a top 4, top 3 defense. Like the 49ers defense is why they got to the Super Bowl a handful of years back. Like this team has been really successful. And the only 2 teams that have been trading off like success, and it's been a 3-team rotation, Eagles, 49ers, and Lions. And so I think with having like losing a piece like Debo, I think it will have an effect, but we'll just see. There's a lot to entail there. So, okay, let's continue talking. So that was a really old one. That was an old take. There was the NFL draft and the NFL Combine. I don't think there's any reason to talk about the NFL Combine because I think my thoughts on the NFL Combine are it's really hard to base guys' success in the NFL judging them off of running around in just sweats. You know what I mean? I think the best way to evaluate, like, I thought it was kind of funny. There was a hit piece where, do I think it's true? Maybe. But I know the media tries to skew things a lot where they're talking about how Shador was really arrogant in his interviews with NFL GMs. I think if people were going to go get him, it doesn't matter what that headline says either way. And a lot of these GMs, yes, they're seeing him at the combine, but just because you run just a little bit faster at the combine or you drop 2 or 3 passes, like it doesn't affect, like if Ashton Jeanty didn't even show up to the NFL combine, if Cam Ward didn't show up and throw, which he did, but he didn't, but like I'll take Jackson Dart or Quinn Ewers or I know Cam Scatterboo only did like the vertical jump and the broad jump and stuff. Like Cam Scatterboo's draft stock didn't improve or decrease after this combine experience and stuff because those who watched Ole Miss games with Dart or Texas games with Quinn Ewers, it's like if you watch the tape, you know what you're going to get. And like this combine isn't magically going to be like, oh, here we go. Wait, we actually want this guy. Like it shouldn't work that way. Like those who want Shador, they're going to go get him. Those who want Cam Ward, they watch the games. They don't give a shit about what happened in Indianapolis. So that's just my take on the NFL draft is the combine's a little overrated, but just because how a lot of us are starving for football, we watch it. And yeah, some guys like show up and show out. And like, for example, I think some of the receivers, I know Beck made a huge impact. Some of the running backs who I'd consider just, under Gene T and Judkins and Henderson and Scatabo, like, they kind of popped up where maybe they're the 5th pick or the 6th pick in the running back room. But again, I don't get paid the big bucks to do that. Like, that's up to the GMs to decide. But, so the other one that I saw, let's talk about this one. Sam Darnold. It's going on because it happened like I've been joking that Sam Darnold ever since they lost to the Rams. They lost because there's the battle for the division game that was in Detroit. Yes, it was like a Sunday Night Football or something like that, week 17, and then there's the wild card game where they lost to the Rams. Like we've been joking ever since then that Sam Darnold, he's on his way out. He's not staying. I think like I was saying, okay, he's going to go to the Raiders or something, and then the Raiders are going to draft Cam Ward, Shador, Quinn Ewers, whoever they draft, and they're going to learn just under Sam Darnold, and then Sam Darnold's going to be on his way. And wrong on that because he didn't go to Raiders. He ended up going to the Seahawks. I think it's kind of funny how Geno Smith and Sam Darnold are just kind of swapping right now because a couple days ago we saw that Geno Smith got traded to the Raiders, and so Coach Carroll and Geno, they're going to reunite in Las Vegas, which kind of makes me go, are the Steelers going to get rid of Russ, or are they keeping him long term? I still don't know because we don't know where Aaron Rodgers is going. I think the Steelers, because they released Fields, and I think they also released Russell Wilson, or there was statements saying that they're not guaranteeing him coming back or something, like they might potentially release him, something like that. But I think Darnold going to the Seahawks isn't too crazy. And like we knew he wasn't going to be the long-term answer for the Vikings because Vikings had drafted J.J. McCarthy in the previous draft. They moved up all that draft capital to go get him. They can't control him getting injured. Like, that's just stuff that happens in sports. You get injured. He got injured in the preseason, and so we didn't see any of him this year. And then Vikings went on a little run where it's like, look at this. But it was a fluke anyways because they were frauds from the get-go. But I think with the West, just with the West and how it is, Seahawks have to go through the Rams, and they have to go through the 49ers. The 49ers are going to turn this shit around, and they're going to get a lot better this next coming season. But, I mean, I don't know. I think with how well Darnold performed last season, he bought himself more time in the league, obviously, because he had his, contract here with the Seahawks. But I think this might be the end of the road. Like, I don't think the Seahawks magically just, here we go, we're contenders now for a Lombardi. Like, I think a handful of teams, maybe 8 or 9 teams, who are sitting with, yes, Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, Aaron Rodgers. I know Daniel Jones is long gone from the Giants, but there's a handful of teams where I think they're just going to, Justin Fields, for example, with the Jets, Dak Prescott with the Cowboys, where I have a feeling that some of these teams are just going to sit in limbo for the next 2-3 seasons. And I have a feeling they're going to go try to get Arch Manning. I have a feeling there's going to be the Arch Manning sweepstakes. And he's going to be a big prospect to go get, or, who else is a really good young QB right now? Because we got a lot of them that we were following since the 2023 season, like Quinn Ewers, and all of them have already come out. He's the only one that I can think of off the top of my head. But, yeah. So, I don't think Seahawks magically just turn around and get better with one key piece, because you're replacing Geno Smith with Sam Darnold. Like, this isn't like, whoa, here we go. Like, it's all right. Okay, I did see that Chris Godwin chose the Buccaneers and stayed with them, extended him. Okay. Let's talk about the Jets. So the Jets, a couple days ago, got rid of Rodgers. I think they got rid of Rodgers last week, and like 2 or 3 days ago, they got rid of Devontae Adams, which Adams has gone to the Rams. We'll probably talk about that in a little bit. But, some of the games that Tyrod Taylor played in, he was okay, but at that point, a lot of the games were out of reach. I think this might be the last shot for Justin Fields. I mean, we saw how unsuccessful the experience was in Chicago, and then they shipped him out of town, and they're like, okay, we're going to bring in Caleb Williams. And look how much different it is with Justin Fields versus Caleb Williams, with how, Williams doesn't have a line. His O-line sucks. And then all of a sudden, you're bringing in key pieces. You're bringing in, the Chiefs center who's been there forever, which we'll see how Mahomes is going to do with his line getting switched out. You know what I mean? Like, you take a guy away from here, how's it going to impact that quarterback? Because, dude, Mahomes was scrambling for his life in the Super Bowl. So, but it's just interesting to see how the Bears kind of, yeah, I did see those videos where it's like the Bears failed Justin Fields. I think at the end of the day, Fields still kind of stank up the joint. But it's interesting to see how much they've tried to build an offensive line around Caleb Williams. I'll use Joe Burrow as an example too, because he didn't have a good line. But how now after sitting behind Russell Wilson and how incompetent the Steelers were in their playoff push, they're like, all right, get out of here, let's go to New York. This, like how I was saying about Sam Darnold, this literally might be Justin Fields' last stop in the NFL. I don't know how many more chances, unless he becomes a journeyman where he's sitting on the bench and he's just a certified backup, kind of like how Fitzmagic was. I really don't know. How many more chances Justin Fields is going to get, because Jets aren't a good team. Like, period, end of story. Like, yeah, it's fun to reunite him with his old teammate Garrett, but like, look at the Jets defense. Look at their offense alone. Like, their offense is, I mean, Lazard's okay. You still got Breece Hall. You got Garrett. Look at the line, though. Look at the offensive line. Look at the coaching there and just how the Jets organization is run as a whole. We'll see. Plus, division still goes through Buffalo. And if it doesn't go through Buffalo, it goes through a healthy Miami team. But there's an asterisk next to that, because can Miami stay healthy? We'll see. So I think Justin Fields, it has the potential to be, okay, here we go. But at the same time, there are a lot of, I mean, we saw it with Zach Wilson. We saw it with Aaron Rodgers. I don't think it's going to be any different with Justin Fields. Like, I think the Jets are the Jets, where, and we'll see how you do here, where it could be something where, if it is a positive, this is kind of like, this for Justin Fields, this is his equivalent of Baker Mayfield's stop at Carolina and then LA for a quick cup of coffee before, look how successful Baker's been with the Bucs. So who knows? Who knows? Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, let's talk about this one. So Devontae Adams, yeah, he was released. I know. Yeah, we have to circle back and talk about this one. So Devontae Adams, he gets released from the Jets. It's got to be the media hate around it or something, because I think Devontae still Adams has it. I mean, I think the only receivers that you can categorize to have the potential argument to say, okay, this receiver's better: Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson. That's it. Like, you could make a case for Tyreek Hill, but like, Tyreek Hill, again, are we comparing Tyreek Hill's prime and like his last season with the Chiefs, or are we comparing the 2024 season? Because I still think Devontae Adams has it. I mean, obviously he still wants to win one. If you watched the wide receiver documentary and stuff on Netflix, like, there's a reason why he left the Raiders. He left the Raiders to purposely go to New York, reunite with Aaron, and try to take a run at the Super Bowl. That didn't work. It blew up in their face, with whatever. But I'd take a Devontae Adams over DK Metcalf. I'd take Devontae Adams over Deebo Samuel. I'd take Devontae Adams over Brandon Ayuk, Tyler Lockett. Like, because there's a lot of receivers moving around right now. One of these days, if not today, maybe tomorrow or something, we're going to see that breaking news: Tyreek Hill has been traded. Because Tyreek wants out of Miami from day one, all the way back in December. Like, I've already made a video on this. Tyreek Hill wants out. Like, Tyreek Hill's not staying, because Miami is one bad hit on Tua away from him having another concussion, and then being another, free fall where, okay, we have to play 8 of our 16, 17 game season with our backup quarterback. Like, I think Tyreek Hill is going to be out. But I'm making all this, saying all these receivers to the point of, like, the media just likes to, and it's probably the Aaron Rodgers connection, which whatever, but like, they like to mention age and how many times you've been traded, and like, they like to just throw out the word washed, where the team success speaks a little bit louder than the personal success, which is why people are saying Mike Evans still doesn't have it when it's like, dude, look at his stats. Look at how efficient this dude has been. Um, I still think Adams has another 3-4 good years in him. Like, we forgot how good Devontae Adams was because he was sitting on a shitty Raiders team since the 2022 season. You know, like, there's a lot, like, everybody just kind of forgets it, but the reason why the Packers were struggling mightily is because his number one, Aaron Rodgers, number one, went through the Raiders, and they were dealing with injuries. But, like, a lot of things kind of like, yeah, when you take away a quarterback's number one and number two option, a lot of these, like, okay, this needs to be fixed. A lot of these mistakes get a little bit louder. And, like, I think him having, oh gosh, who was his quarterbacks? O'Connell, Minshew, Jimmy Garoppolo, because I know he was really pissed at Jimmy Garoppolo. Their relationship was pretty strenuous. Derek Carr, like, he didn't have Pro Bowlers throwing him the football. You know, he didn't, like Matthew Stafford. I think Matthew Stafford's, if the Rams keep Matthew Stafford, I mean, that's a good quarterback for Adams. Like, I think Matthew Stafford still has another 2-3 years left in him before he could turn into a journeyman too, where it's like, okay, Matty Ice he's pretty washed. He's turned kind of into Joe Flacco and Matt Ryan. So, because I think Stafford and Adams with Nakua, they should bring back Cooper Kupp. I don't know why the hell they released him. I don't know what the hell the Rams are doing, but I mean, all the quarterbacks that I just listed off, like, none of them compare to Aaron. But if you want to have a little bit of a debate and an argument, you could put Matthew Stafford up there with Aaron Rodgers for decent to phenomenal quarterbacks that Adams has played with. And I think that's probably why it was a pretty, hey, this is an intriguing place to go, because it's Matthew Stafford. Because, no, Devontae Adams is not going to go to the Chiefs and play with Mahomes. He was never going to go to the Bengals and play with Burrow, or the Eagles with Hurts. Like, it wasn't going to happen. There wasn't enough money or cap space to do this, because no one would want to pay. Oh gosh, how much was his contract? Let's see the contract. Two-year, $46 million. Okay, 2-year, $46 million. Like, I don't think the Bills have that kind of money, because they just paid, Josh Allen. Chiefs don't have that money. So, I think it was the money too. But, again, I think Devontae Adams could replace the production value of Cooper Kupp. I will say that, but, again, we'll just see. I think it's a good place for him to go. Now, that crazy theory of how Matthew Stafford and the Rams, like, they part ways and then Stafford sent to New York, I don't think that's going to happen. Like, there's a theory of that rolling around. I don't see that happening. Now, could this be like the first steps to Aaron and Adams reunite again, but this time in Los Angeles, where Stafford's traded to the Steelers? And then Russell Wilson sent packing, and he has to go play for the Giants or something. Or Tennessee, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I know forever ago in one of those Pat McAfee shows, forever ago, I know Rodgers has a home in Tennessee, but, like, with how shitty the Titans are, he's not going to go there. I was saying he's either going to the Seahawks or the Steelers. I said that forever ago, or the Saints. The Saints was an option too, but I don't know. We'll still just see. I have a feeling we'll probably know where Rodgers is going to go by the end of this week, but who the hell freaking knows, because everything's going crazy right now. Let me hit a refresh. Let's see if anything crazy happened. Oh my gosh, $100.5 million deal. Sam Darnold to the Seahawks. That's how much money it was. Jeez Louise, what a... $100 million for them to win 6 games. Yeah, I said it. 6 games. All right, chat. How we doing, chat? Chat, how we doing? Yeah, if you guys are liking what you're doing, let me know. Let me know in the polls. Let me know in the polls. Or I didn't make a poll on this. Here we go. Hold on. Let me make a poll here real quick. DK, Debo, Adams, and Garrett. There we go. I just put the poll in there. You guys can let me know which move was the biggest. I mean, we got DK Metcalf, which I haven't even talked about yet. But DK Metcalf going to the Steelers, Deebo Samuel going to Washington, Adams going to the Rams, and then Myles Garrett staying with the Browns. So, yeah, let me know which one's the biggest move. I would say, looking at it from probably Adams to the Rams. Probably. Because Myles Garrett is... The Browns are still the Browns. Debo is kind of sort of washed. Him going to Washington. And then DK to the Steelers. The Steelers will still play the most mid-football, scoring 13 points a game, go 9-8, and then 1 and done in the playoffs. So which move was really the biggest here? Okay. But yeah, there's the poll, guys. If you like what you're watching, hit that like button. And if you're on your way out, hit the sub button so you know where to come back to watch some sports. Talk about some sports. Let me see if we got... let me see if we have any other moves. So we talked about Geno. Oh, no, I don't think we did talk about Geno Smith to the Raiders. Because there was talks where Metcalf, Wilson, and Pete Carroll all reunite in Vegas. Well, clearly it's not going to happen now. Raiders, we'll see. I think we can't say anything just yet with the Raiders because, it just started. We'll see how Pete Carroll takes over Las Vegas. And I think with the interesting thing about the Raiders, too, is I think with how Tom Brady's the owner, I think that right now, no, this team doesn't wow you. This isn't the craziest team. But I think in time, I think the Raiders could be kind of the equivalent to the Dolphins, maybe. Or I'd say the Dolphins or Cowboys. Dolphins, Cowboys, Bucks. Dolphins, Cowboys, or Bucks, where if they string together 3-4 good division games, they can win the division and get a home playoff for the wild card. Maybe with a little bit of luck and magic, they get to the divisional round. But, I mean, the Raiders, dude, they haven't been to the Super Bowl in what feels like thousands of years. And so, yeah, I don't think the Raiders just magically, no. Like, Vikings, Raiders, shit. Like, I know it's Brady, but, I mean, you just have to find the right players, and, yeah. It's a long, arduous process. All right. Let me minimize this. All right, people. Let's see what other free agency moves are going on. Oh, I did see that. What's his name? T. Higgins. I did see that T. Higgins got franchise tagged again. It's not gonna last. I think this will be T. Higgins' last season with the Bengals. I did see that Sweat Super Bowl champ Sweat from the Eagles. I did see that he went to, I think, Arizona, which, yeah, Josh Sweat. After losing out on former Eagles lineman Milton Williams, the Cardinals made the first splash of free agency by signing Super Bowl champ ex-Eagle Josh Sweat. I don't think the Cardinals magically, oh shit, here we go. Like it it comes down to who's your quarterback, but then who's protecting your quarterback. Like there's a lot of there's a lot of crap that goes into building a team. Like you got to build a defense too. Like it just yeah. Rams reach agreement with free agent QB Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo's kind of fallen off, but I don't think maybe kind of like the Shanahan because it's what a lot of people are throwing at Brock Purdy. Maybe the Shanahan uh, bias is what's protecting Brock Purdy right now. But like, yeah, the second that Garoppolo left, they're like, I knew he was a fraud. Sources: tight end Mike Gesicki re-signs with Bengals on a 3-year deal worth 25.5 million. And there's the thing. Is like I see that Gesicki got paid a 3-year deal while T. Higgins gets franchise tagged. It's like that's because Gesicki's getting paid tight end money, not wide receiver money. And I remember my uncle and we once had a conversation about how the reason why the Chiefs have been so successful in keeping Travis Kelce there is Kelsey's the number one receiver. This year and last year he wasn't because he's getting washed. His best seasons are behind him. Like the 22 season and the 21 season were freaking phenomenal. And that's probably the best football we'll see out of him. Unless, I mean, he just wows us this year. Because again, everything's ahead of us. But he was probably, you could argue, a top 5 receiver as a tight end. But he was still getting paid tight end money, which made room for wide receivers and defense and just salary cap space to bring guys in, which, hey, it worked. They went back to back in that short span of, oh shit, the Chiefs are really good. Dolphins sources: Dolphins not expected to franchise tag Javon Holland. Alric Jackson reaches 3-year, $57 million deal. Cooper Kupp. Here, let me go to. Let's go to Insta real quick. Let's go to the NFL. Let's see if we got any movement here. DK Metcalf. Oh, DK Metcalf to the Steelers. Yeah. I haven't talked about this one. And I haven't talked about Myles Garrett to the Browns either. Okay, so I think I did see this yesterday when I was going to dinner. On the TV, like I saw yellow. I just saw a yellow team, so I was like, okay, either sign with Washington or sign with Pittsburgh. DK Metcalf, he's on his way out. Seahawks have just like imploded. First with Geno, then Lockett, then Metcalf. I think there was a lot of stuff going on in-house that will not be released to the public until later down the line when they want to talk about it, when they're all retired or whatever. But whatever. I think I don't think DK Metcalf is a huge splash on the Steelers. And like I've seen the memes where it'd show, George Pickens and DK Metcalf like fighting corners and safeties 10 yards down the field after every, halfback draw to Najee Harris or something. The Steelers are still the Steelers. The standard is still the standard where Mike Tomlin, their defense is going to keep them in every single game. But like the lackluster, terrible offensive play calling. We're blaming Canada, but Smith is no better. Like, Steelers they're not going to win the North. It's going to go to the Ravens again this year. Or the Bengals. It'd be wild if it freaking went to the Browns. I don't think it would, but they'll play, a little above / a little below, 500 football. Where look at this, we're in the middle of October. They're 4-4. They're 4-5. We're start of November, almost around Thanksgiving. Look at this. The Steelers are 7-6, and then I think, I really think, like, Metcalf is a great receiver, but I feel like what the Steelers need is, they need someone like Aaron Rodgers, Trevor Lawrence, who else? Mm, CJ Stroud and the Texans, they never separate. Um, they need someone who's at least better than Russell Wilson. I'll say that. Yeah, man. Like, I can believe it because he wanted out, but I don't think I just don't think the Steelers get that much better with the um, DK. I think DK Metcalf going to the Steelers is kind of the equivalent of Hopkins going to the Chiefs. It's like a splash, and it looks good on paper, like, oh shit, here we go. But like, if your quarterback's booty cheeks that can't even get him the ball, then it don't matter. It really don't matter. Um, but oh gosh, what did he sign? Did he sign a? Am I a Steelers fan? No, no, I'm a Packers fan actually. I'm a Packers fan. But I just Steelers are kind of like one of those teams I have a soft spot for. But like, just knowing, like, I think the Steelers should have fired Mike Tomlin long, long ago. But they're wasting away T.J. Watt's career. They wasted Cam Hayward's career. I think, I mean, Justin Fields was playing fine at the beginning of the season, so we'll see. We'll see. Because if the Steelers can even get out of their own division, like they beat up on the Bengals, they beat up on the Ravens, they will run into the Chiefs, they'll run into the Bills, and I mean, we saw what happened in the last playoffs. Like, yeah. Salary cap questions for 32 teams. Oh, I did. Yep, I did see this. Max Crosby, he did sign his extension with the Raiders, which, again, he must just love Las Vegas because Raiders, they ain't going anywhere. They're still going to be booty. Still going to be booty cheeks. Oh, I did see that Bosa. Yeah. Bosa. Bosa was released from the Chargers. I think the reports of, oh, he's trying to bring too much Michigan into the locker room. I think that's all just smokescreen bullshit. I just think, like, dude, Bosa's been there since 2016, so like 9 seasons, and Chargers haven't done shit. No offense, like, yeah, they bring in Herbert, but again, Herbert, Tua, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow, they're all like hypothetical, man. Like, well, if, when, and like, Chargers, they haven't been able to do it. Just period, end of story. And so I think Bosa, what Bosa should have done is what Myles Garrett should have done. Where, okay, you've given this team your prime. Now you're towards the tail end of your prime before you're kind of washed, where you have to go on in the distance. Go to a team that's competing for a Super Bowl. Go to the Bengals, because the Bengals are going to need it. Because holy shit, Uh, Hendricks requested a trade, and then the other one, Henderson, retired or some shit like that. I'll have to double check, because that, once I saw that, I was like, shit, man, Bengals are going to be ass this year. So yeah, I'm surprised. Like, Myles Garrett. I mean, the saga. Oh, here we go. Here's a question. Do you think the Bills are going to have a good season this year? Um, yeah, if they don't run into the Chiefs in the playoffs. No. I think the Bills will definitely. The Bills will definitely win the East. Because that's what they've been doing for the past, what is it now, 6 years straight. They've won it. Um, Yeah, it has to be 6. Ooh, but I think the Bills. If the Bills just tweak a little bit more on the defense because they let go of Von Miller, I don't know who else they'd let go of, but like there's just going to be some offseason moves. If you just get Josh Allen some help, build on that defense, Bills will be ready to go. Because I think after this Super Bowl loss to the Chiefs, I think the Chiefs are going to start to explode a little too, and the AFC is probably going to be wide open this year. Not really, but like, yeah, we'll see. I think they'll be fine. From Boone's, what do you think about Russell Wilson to the Falcons? Probably not. Probably not because they got Michael Penix. They moved all that draft capital to go get the quarterback out of Washington, and was he mid when he did play after they sat Kirk Cousins? Yes, but again, he was sitting from the national championship in January all the way to November. He wasn't playing any actual live reps for 9 months. Of course, he was going to play rusty for like the last 5 games. But I don't think Wilson. I think Wilson. I think the Steelers are trying to get rid of him in the ways of, hey, let's get rid of Russell Wilson and bring in, because I know the Steelers wanted to talk to Trevor Lawrence. Obviously, that went nowhere because I think Lawrence is going to stay with the Jags. Like, I think they were trying to send out fillers to try to, yeah, we'll take Aaron Rodgers if you'll take Russell Wilson or something like that. Because I would still, as like mediocre as Russell Wilson is, I'd still put him over Geno Smith. I'd still put him over Sam Darnold, Jimmy Garoppolo, Trevor Lawrence. So, yeah, I don't think he's going to the Falcons. Let's see if there's anything else. So back to the NFL. Usually Instagram's quicker with it. Bears signing Grady Jarrett. The Bears signing Grady. Wow, he finally left Atlanta. Dude, Grady Jarrett had like 5 sacks in Super Bowl 51 forever ago. From Titans for Life, what do you think about Dan Moore Jr. to the Titans? No impact. Titans are still going to win. Like, Titans can go get Cam Ward or Shador and bring in, I don't know, like all these like they're still going to win 2 or 3 games. Oh my gosh, look at all these. Holy cow, Kate. Instagram is putting this out a lot better than freaking ESPN is. I should have been looking at these the whole time. Washington is trading for Jeremy Tunsil from the Texans. Okay. The Bills signing Joshua Palmer to a 3-year deal. Oh, Palmer's a receiver? Josh Allen likes to use his tight ends more. But I think Palmer could be a good piece. Kind of like how Shakir is. And does that mean the Bills got rid of Cooper? We'll see. Because sometimes having too many weapons is bad. Because, I mean, look at what's going on with the 49ers. I mean, Purdy had all these Pro Bowlers. But, you know, hey, once payday rolls around where we got to start paying guys, Ayuk's going to be on his way out. I know he just signed that extension, but that it don't mean shit. Like, guys still leave with huge contracts. But Devo's already gone. Yeah. Cardinals signing Josh Sweat. We did talk about that. We did talk. Hufanga. Broncos signing. Okay. Broncos defense just got a little bit better. Taking the safety from the 49ers. Plus, I think Hufanga was a backup too. Colts signing Cam Bynum. Jets signing Justin Fields. Panthers signing Trayvon Mullen. No difference, man. It's still the Panthers. Milton Williams. Wait a minute. Milton Williams. Did Milton Williams... Milton Williams was... Yeah, he was the one that got the strip sack on Mahomes. Why would you leave? Don't chase the money. Oh, my gosh. How long has he been... Hold on. How long has he been on the Eagles? Oh, my. No. Why did he leave? No. Dude. Oh, no. Lions sign DJ Reed. Oh, that's a liability. Dude, the one Jets game that I did go to when the Jets played the Cardinals here in Arizona, dude, DJ Reed was getting cooked every play by Harrison. So, that's a liability. Carlton Davis from Detroit. So maybe the Patriots defense is getting a little better, but I mean, is Drake May the guy? Rams re-signed Jimmy G. Braxton Berrios going to the Texans. Okay, all right. Bears signing Drew Dalmar. Again, the Bears are building a line. They're building a line for, what's his face? Caleb Williams. Bucks re-signed Chris Godwin. Buccaneers signed Hassan Reddick. Dude, Hassan Reddick is such a dumbass. Like, yeah. He left. Reddick agrees to a 1-year, $14 million deal. Yeah, dude. Like, how the hell do you leave the Eagles and then hold out on the Jets, and then you play what, like 1 or 2 games, and you miss out on winning the Super Bowl if you would have just stayed with the Eagles? Like, fumble. Ooh, okay, Khalil Mack's re-signing with the Chargers. Okay. Horn signing an extension with the Panthers. Also, the Falcons released Grady Jarrett. Okay. DK Metcalf going to the Steelers. We talked about that one. Josh Allen's new contract. 6 years, $330 million. So 6 more years of disappointing playoff exits. Shit. 6 more years of, damn it, we ran into the Chiefs. Aaron Jones re-signing with the Vikings. Chiefs re-signing Nick Bolton. Good, that's good. Okay, now I do want to see where this guy goes. Zadarius Smith from the Lions. I do want to see where he ends up going. Yeah, breaking Browns extending Myles Garrett. This happened a day ago. I think the saga with Myles Garrett and the Browns has kind of been ridiculous because you've given 17, 18, 19, sorry. Yeah, you've given your whole career to the Browns, and what has it shown for? Like, if he were to leave, and if he would have went to the Bills, Chiefs, well, with the Chiefs, maybe we would have looked at it a little different. But like, if Myles Garrett left and he won a Super Bowl, I don't think anybody in Cleveland would have hated him for it, and I don't think it would have put an asterisk on him winning a title like how it would for KD, for example. I know we're, talking about 2 different sports, and they're honestly in 2 different kind of like situations, but Cleveland hasn't won shit, and I mean, he said it himself, he's not going to sit through a rebuild. Well, apparently when you pay him enough, he will, because he wanted out, but the GM was like, nope, we're not going to get rid of him. And then look at that, they start paying him some money. He's like, yeah, I guess I'll stay here for a little bit. So, I mean, don't be surprised if we have the same conversation next year after the Browns win 4 games, 3 games, 5 games. And it's like, hey, look at this. He wants to get traded again. And he ends up going somewhere. Because I think guys like TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, It's like I'd love to see them. I'd love to see them get a ring, but the truth is, they're not going to get a ring on the Steelers. They're not going to get a ring. Nick Chubb would love to see Chubb get a ring. He's not going to get a ring on the Browns. Like the Browns, dude, the Browns stink. And like the last time the Browns were good and did have a good quarterback, you got rid of him because you were listening to all the media bullshit. And yeah, like there was a time when the Browns had Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, a decent offensive line. Like that 2020 squad for the Browns was something special. And I realistically think they could have kept building on it and get to the divisional or the AFC Championship game. But no, they had to blow it up because the Browns are the Browns. So here we go. From Steelers. What do you think about? I'm gonna think Darius Slay to the Steelers. It would definitely improve the defense. It would definitely improve the defense because, yeah, the Steelers. I think what stands in the Steelers' way is having a competent quarterback. Like Russell Wilson, I don't know when he lost it. Actually, I do know when he lost it. I think Russell Wilson lost his mojo when they lost to the Packers back in 2021, like 14-3 or something. Or it was a shutout. Hold on, let me look. Packers versus Seahawks. 17-0. And it dropped the Seahawks to a 3-6 overall record. And Russell Wilson statistically just played like dog shit that game. But like that game, like DK Metcalf was yelling at him on the sideline. Coach Carroll was yelling at him on the sideline. Rodgers and Adams, they didn't play like the best game. I think Cobb was still there. A.J. Dillon was still there and healthy. Campbell, Smith, and all the boys, they were still there together because it was the 21 season for the Packers. Like we improved to 8-2, but like 17-0. Like it was a rough day to be a Seahawks fan, and that is when I think Russell Wilson lost his mojo. That was never the same. But I agree with you. This offseason has been freaking crazy. Like Xavier Worthy, I haven't even talked about this, but I don't even know much about it. Like Xavier Worthy got arrested, so it's like, is he going to be able to play this season? Who knows? Then, yeah, breaking Bills release Von Miller. Commanders re-sign Zach Ertz. Raven extending Ronnie Stanley. Chiefs re-sign Hollywood Brown. Okay, good for him. Buccaneers re-signing Levante David. Bills extending Greg Arusso. Commanders releasing Jonathan Allen. Shit, I saw this. Commanders releasing defensive lineman Jonathan Allen. Washington did re-sign Bobby Wagner. The Jaguars released Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram. Texans trading for Christian Kirk. Okay, so that's where that was quick. He got picked up real quick. Zach Bond, did see that. Sam Hubbard announced retirement. It was Sam Hubbard, and then Hendricks requested a trade. So, dude, that Bengals defense, man. That Bengals defense is going to be fucking rough this year, man. It's going to be freaking rough, dude. Like, oh my gosh. Raiders releasing Gardner Minshew. No. It's all right. Gardner Minshew, he'll go somewhere. He's turned into a journeyman. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Let's see. Anybody else? 48 days till the draft. Yeah, but this post was for freaking ever ago. So those so far are the big trades right now. Sam Darnold to the Seahawks, DK Metcalf to the Steelers, and Devontae Adams to the Rams. That's what everybody's talking about. And then Myles Garrett re-signing with the Browns. Again, I don't think it's anything to write home to mom about because Browns are still the Browns. Ooh, 14 years ago today. Maybe the greatest ankle-breaking game winner of all time. The Kemba Walker clip against the Pittsburgh guy in the Big East Championship game. Cardiac Kemba. Damn, that was 14 years ago. Shit. Would pay money to watch a live stream. These two arguing about who gets number 14. No, shit. Oh, dear. It's that video of the brawl between Tennessee and Florida. Like, who gets number 14? No, I get 14. Okay. All right, let me hit refresh on ESPN real quick. See if anybody else has moved, but we'll probably end the stream here. The NFL on ESPN. Jets reach $40 million deal with QB Fields. Damn. You know, shit. For $40 million, yeah, I'd sit on the bench. I don't care. Okay. I did see that the Packers did sign San Francisco's guard Banks to a $77 million deal. I did see that. And then I guess the last thing to talk about, too, because I did talk about it a little bit at the start of the stream, was some of the... what's the word I'm looking for? There has been some movement in the NHL, too. And the biggest story that I know of is Brad Marchand going from Boston to the Panthers. And I think it's just kind of funny because of his reputation within the NHL league. I think a lot of this has to do with, number one, he's going to be a free agent at the end of this season. And I think it's just kind of been a snowball effect of how they didn't win the cup with Patrice Bergeron as captain back in 2023, when statistically they were the best in the history of the NHL. So they let go of goalkeeper Linus Ullmark. They let him go to the Senators. Patrice Bergeron, he retires. They did go on a little bit of a run last season, but then I think they lost to the Panthers in the second round, if I'm not mistaken. But then, we have Marchand, his career, contract. His contract is looming in the distance. You still want to keep Pastrnak for the future. You've just paid Swayman, so your money's kind of tight. McAvoy gets injured in the Four Nations, and then we saw it in the Pittsburgh game, where was it P.O. Joseph? It was just a routine hit into the boards, and that's what ended up injuring him. Dare I say, like, it's lower body injury. Is it an ankle? Is it a knee? Who knows? But I just think with him being a free agent, him getting injured, McAvoy being done for the season too, and just with how underperforming the Bruins have been this season, they're kicking the can down the road, and they're like, well, we got a plan for the future anyways. Let's do it right now. And so they cut the captain for literally nothing. I think like a second, third rounder or whatever, in an upcoming draft. So all that just for that. It's so funny to see the logistics and stuff of how much is this player really worth? And so with him just being a free agent and injured, he's injured. I don't think if Marchand does play, he's not going to play until the playoffs. So I think, when you're that many games under 500, you have to have, some pretty damn good home stretch games or something to stack a few wins together to even get into the playoff spot. I think it was just that hill was a little too big to climb for Boston, and so that's why I think they got rid of him. But because he's a free agent, I think it also saves some cap space where he plays the rest of the season with Florida, but then he comes back. Like they sign him back. Like I don't know. I don't know the logistics side to that, but do I think the Panthers get better? I mean, if he's healthy, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Bennett, Reinhardt, Tkachuk, and Marchand. Like that's a pretty good lineup right there. And then yeah, we also forget about Sergei Bobrovsky on net. So I think the Panthers do get better if Marchand is playing healthy. I think the Bruins, it's time to punt on this season. I don't think they're going anywhere. Plus, if they do make it to the playoffs, they're going to run into either the Capitals as the 8th seed or the Panthers as the 7th seed. So either way, it's tough slate from here on out. So I think, I think the Panthers are probably going to be. It's easy to say, but like Panthers, Caps, maybe in the Eastern Conference Final. But yeah, we'll just see. All right, let me hit the refresh here. Any other crazy? No, nothing too crazy. Okay. Let me hit refresh one more time. Let's see if anything else happened. Nope. Let's go to here. Total contract value. They're looking at all the money between all the QBs. The NFL. Let's see ESPN. Let's see if ESPN has posted anything. Nope. We're just sitting. We're just sitting right now. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well. Okay. We'll end it. We'll end it here though, because I feel like if there is going to be another big move and stuff, we're not going to hear about for another 30 minutes. So I think I'd rather just end the stream here. And anything else that happens crazy for the rest of the day, we'll talk about it later tonight and wrap up tonight because, oh boy, oh shit. This has already been posted. So, yeah. Sorry, I had to sneeze again. I'd rather do like an emergency stream. Aaron Rodgers has just been posted, and I'd rather do that in like an hour and a half or two. I'm a 49ers fan. Anything happen? Nope. But just expect here in like the next week or so, Ayuk's on his way out. Yeah. That'd be my thing. Also expect the Bosa brothers to be reunited in San Fran too. Like I do think Joey Bosa would go from the Chargers to San Francisco. Absolutely. Which, if that happens, holy shit, the 49ers defense just got that much better. Like, I think the 49ers defense was fine. Like, were the 49ers good this year? No, absolutely not. But the injury bug, that is why. And I talked about that forever in this stream. Like, it was a 3-team rotation between the Eagles, Lions, and 49ers. It's been that way for the last 2-3 seasons. And, yeah, when you're missing Christian McCaffrey, Ayuk, Debo, your starter tackle. I think Kittle missed like 1 or 2 games. But, yeah, you got some guys on the defense who are missing. Like, yeah, it's going to be a tough season. But every team deals with injury bugs in different ways. But, yeah. All right, guys. I think we should we end the stream there? We should probably end the stream there. So, people on the shorts, if you guys liked what you watched, be sure to hit that sub button so you guys know where to come back to. I think we're going to do we'll reload here. We're going to play some Red Dead and stuff. This stream went a little longer than I expected it to. I wanted this to be like a quick 20-minute stream or something, and it's been an hour. Go figure. So, all right, people on the shorts end. Damn, 17 hours total watch time. Peak concurrent, 73 people. We had 73 people in here at one time. 17 hours. Damn, that's pretty cool. Oh, and then one last comment slipped in as I was ending the stream. It said, Josh Sweat to the Cardinals. No. Well, that's two. That's two guys from the Eagles that they didn't get rid of, but like they were traded. So, I mean, it happens. That's the NFL. So, all right, people. We're going to end the stream there. Like I was saying, we're going to do some Red Dead and stuff. Why not? Dude, I freaking love that game. I have not been able to play it in a handful. So, we're going to play that. Here, let me end this over here. Get that queued up because it's 2:26 right now. Give me like 30 minutes. I'm going to go have lunch real quick. Then we'll play some Red Dead a little bit later. So, anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the stream. This was really fun. Just, we got a lot going on in the NFL. And I think we didn't even cover NHL. I think Tarasenko got traded to, hold on. Someone got traded to the Stars. Someone got traded to the Dallas Stars. I don't know who it was. Because they're like, are the Dallas Stars a legit contender this year? Rantanen. Nico Rantanen. Yeah, this post right here from the NHL. Are the Dallas Stars Stanley Cup favorites? You know, with Hintz, Robertson, Rantanen, Johnston, and Onger. It's like, well, hey, in the preseason, and I will say this, dude, till my face turns blue, until the cows come home, because I predicted, nobody's going to believe me, which is totally fine. I predicted the Stanley Cup final last year. I predicted the whole freaking playoffs last year, and I hit it on the nose. So going into this season, it's like I need to freaking have my prediction ready to go. I had Rangers versus Stars. Do I think that might happen with the additional piece for the Stars, Rantanen? Yes, but the Rangers aren't holding up their end of the bargain. So, you know, in fact, that's how we'll end the stream. Here, watch this. Can you guys still hear me? Okay, we still got the mic. Okay, let's go back over here. Let me get the video queued up, and then we'll do it. Hold on. And that's how we'll end the stream. Angel Reese threatens WNBA strike if she doesn't get more money. It happens. I hate to sound like a jerk and like a dick when I say this, but it's like your percentage revenue, you're getting paid more than the NBA players. And like, it has nothing to do with the fact that, like, you know, oh, this is a women's sport versus men's sport. It's like, it's about the money that comes in. It has nothing to do with you playing women's basketball. It has everything to do with how much money is your league making. Sorry. Said the quiet part out loud, and now I'm the biggest asshole. Get him out of here. Okay, let's go NHL. Filters, here we go. NHL. Okay, so this, yeah, here we go. I think I've shown this on a stream once before. Okay. All right, people. So this is how we're going to end the stream. Hold on, let me switch it over here. All right, I don't know if y'all can hear me. Hold on. Okay. Anyways, I thank you guys for watching. Be sure to hit that sub button so you know where to come back to. Check back here in a couple minutes. We'll play some Red Dead, but I'll see you guys later. Enjoy the video.